Tap o' the morning. I hope you're doing well. And yeah, I was lying in bed this morning, and I have a tendency to consume, I want to say, videos or like articles that have a, I want to say, philosophical, psychological, or spiritual element to it. Just because there's like different angles that I want to understand, and I like to delve deep into things so I can understand the root. I think you can relate to that. But yeah, I was lying in bed and I was like absorbing this information and I was like, whoa. I should make a video on that. I like literally get pops of inspiration. I don't know where it really comes from. I could literally just be like chilling and like doing nothing, and then I'll just get like boom, a pop of inspiration. Or like downloads of information or revelations. I think they're kind of the same, or they are conceived from the same source. Whatever. And I was just like, whoa, I gotta like make a video on this. So, how do I even start? So, when I was growing up, I feel like I was like growing up in a time where life was simple. Like without disclosing too much information, life was simple. You know, people were simple. Um, there wasn't too much access to information because there wasn't, I want to say, as much information out there. There wasn't as much people, you know. I feel like there was like two traffic lights. like I do. I live on an island, and there was two traffic lights throughout the whole island. Now there's probably like 100. You know what I'm saying? So can you see the contrast? And this was, I want to say, within like I said, like a four decade time frame. Seems like a long time, but doesn't feel like it, if I were to be honest. But yeah, life was simpler then. There's just less things to consume. When you went to the grocery store, there was like one light bulb, one standard light bulb that fit everything. There wasn't like thousands of different types of light bulbs with thousands of different purposes, and all these competitors. It was very simple, very simple. I don't think that material things were a priority. It was just waking up and living for the day, you know, and enjoying it. I suppose that's why I have the, I want to say, outlooks that I have. Because I don't know, maybe I am an outdated version of life, but when I go out into the world and I'm just like overwhelmed with all this media, all these perspectives, all these energies, it just feels suffocating, honestly. It's just suffocating. You don't know who to believe, you don't know which way to go, which way to look, because it's just, we've normalized chaos. We've normalized more is best, you know, in regards to like women, I guess wearing less is best. I don't know, it's kind of weird to me. And I don't know, it just seems like chaotic, honestly, compared to like simpler times, you know. Not only that, we didn't have like, you know, iPads and iPhones and computers back then. So you would like spend most of your day on the land, and I don't know if everybody can relate to this, but I grew up on a farm. So I was always outside, I was helping my guardians like plant things in the soil, and then we had animals to take care of, and I would climb trees, and I would like swing and just play in the soil and just enjoy the moment, enjoy the day, doing just like simple tasks that made a simple life. And I think I much prefer it that way, honestly. And I know my preferences don't necessarily matter in the schematic of things, but yeah, I was just thinking, like, damn, like then versus now, you know? I probably am an outdated system, or maybe I am part of the older system and I'm here to revive it again. I don't know. But if you think about it, like, yeah, there's just too much nonsense going on. People are just investing their time in fragmentation and distracting themselves in things that don't really hold too much substance in the world, if you get what I'm saying. Like, literally, I do try to, like, kind of like dabble, not dabble, but just kind of like open myself up to like what's some of the things that are currently going around, like, current music, what the kids like to listen to now, what, how the kids like interact on social media. And whoa, we've normalized like a very distorted way of being for me. But then I also think that maybe that is part of the deconstruction process. Anyways, I talk too much. Let's get into this. So the word that came to mind was antichrist, and I'm not religious, but I do know that a lot of like I do have like a lot of friends that are Christian, and they practice Christianity. They're very devout, and sometimes these types of information will enter my feed, you know, and yeah, I click on them because I'm curious. I'm interested in other people's perspectives. But like how people have these like belief systems about like the Antichrist and stuff. I feel like they think it's a person. It's not a person. We're living in it right now. Everything is Antichrist. Think about it. The violence, the murder, the sexualization, the confusion as far as like gender roles, the wars between different types of cultural backgrounds. It totally goes against just being a human being. Like male versus female. You know, um, yeah, just like I said, the violence, the sexualization, the all the stuff they're putting out. The consumption of like very toxic things, like down to your food. I don't know how it is in other countries, but in America, it's pretty bad. And that's why I've chosen to isolate myself, because if you think about it, like the people who subscribe to these things, which is probably like 90%, it's like even exposing myself to their well, I'm working on it. I'm trying to like be able to like discern what's my energy, what's not my energy, and just kind of like stay very grounded in my energy despite being exposed. But it's hard. It's hard. You know, we are like creatures that are easily influenced and easily like affected by our environment or the people we interact with. But most of the time, I just hermit mode by myself, chilling, you know, trying to get really clear on my like vision and my energy and stay grounded. Um, but yeah, Antichrist, dude, we're living it. We're living it. Like people are just totally subscribing to very unnatural and unethical and distorted things that take us away from being a freaking, what is it called? A considerate human being, you know? yeah, people are like choosing material things, you know, they're not necessarily thinking about someone else. The level of consideration, it's still there, you know, I encounter it, but you know, it's also like been normalized to just think about yourself. You know, don't think about anybody else. Think about yourself, you know, and it doesn't matter who you hurt and who you step over and who you backstab in order to get ahead, you know. That kind of mentality that has been normalized, you know, like using other people for your own selfish tendency has been normalized. And if you ask me, that's pretty antichristical. um, yeah, that's my take on that, and that's what I wanted to talk on. You know, we're looking for a person, but I think we're living in it right now. The Antichrist, or that term that they use to explain that. You know, what's really weird too is I've noticed that this current timeline that we're living in, it's like they create the problems, but then they expect you to pay for the remedy. Think about it. So a lot of people are overweight, or you know, they have diabetes. I don't know. I'm not really like well versed in these terms, you know. But it's because of the food that they eat. But who like pushed the food in their face? Who influenced that idea to consume the food, you know? And then it's just like you get sick, and then you go to the doctor, and the doctor just gives you like pills to kind of mask the problem instead of fix the problem. That's like, for me, it's just like I kind of like don't subscribe to all of that stuff. You know, it's just like I need to like maintain my health, whether that be like, you know, by restricting a lot of the things that I consume, and also like fasting on occasion, you know. Like, I just feel like my body has an innate intelligence, and if I give it the proper support, it will heal itself, it will maintain itself, it will, you know, like run organically and naturally if I just give it the support that it needs and I stop like giving it more poison, you know? Am I even making sense in this video? Anyways, let's move forward. I am hopeful, and I also, how do I even say this? I'm hopeful that even though we are living in uncertain and interesting times, I am hopeful that that is part of the process. You know, maybe we need to go through this in order for things to be broken down, in order for things to fall apart, in order for things to deconstruct, in order for reconstruction to occur, which is like, I want to say people like refer to it as the golden age. You know, you can't have a golden age until like, I want to say, an immense darkness has overtaken our current reality, you know? And it's part of the cycle. It's like night and day, you know? It's almost like you can't stop it, you can't control it. You can merely just sit around and just observe it, you know? Observe it, acknowledge it, be aware of it, allow it, you know? And I mean, what can you do? And then, like, eventually things will work themselves out. Things will get destroyed. We'll make space for new things to come in, and those new things will bring more light. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel. They have, like, I've mentioned this in other videos briefly, but, like, from, like, a Hindu philosophical aspect, they have something called the Yugas. And currently we're supposedly in the Kali Yuga, which is, like, Dark Age. And then eventually we'll move back into the golden age. But all of this needs to occur before that happens. And for me, I don't participate in it, but I just like hang back, just watch it happen. You know, I don't, seriously, I just retract my participation. I literally have just become an observer of such things. I conserve my energy by doing that too. Think about it. You conserve your energy. It's all about energy conservation. and then, what is worthwhile, then you can participate in it, or you cannot participate in it. But for me, I've just kind of like, I feel like my stance currently is to just hang back and observe. Sometimes I'll go in there and experience stuff so I can gather more lessons and knowledge and skill sets and tools. But overall, I just chill. Chilling is best, guys. I mean, and it's funny, I don't know if people are under the impression when I say I chill that I just don't do anything. No, I do. I actually like participate. I participate in the world. Like I do have a job. Just because, it gives me something to do. It gives me more material to like I want to say experience and work with. And not only that, I don't know, when I'm in the world, I gotta do stuff, I can't just like lay around all day. But balance is required. And that's what I'm doing. To balance out the chaos and the negativity is by not doing anything. I just retract my attention, retract my participation, and I keep on keeping on. Anyways, if you learned something from this really crazy video, I don't even know if it made sense, guys. Seriously, gosh. I don't know if it made sense. But if you learned something cool, if you didn't, that's cool too. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you are well. I hope you are feeling blessed and clear and balanced in yourself, irregardless of the happenings and events around you.